On September 4, 2019, a 73-year-old man stepped up to a service counter at a motor vehicle office in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and handed over a valid United States passport. The document was issued in the name of Walter Lee Kaufman. It possessed all the correct security watermarks, a valid issue date, and an official government seal. For nearly 4 decades, this man had used this exact name to buy property, secure driver's licenses, and receive monthly federal checks. But as the clerk scanned the document, a system notification halted the transaction. The database registered an immediate conflict. According to federal archives, the true Walter Lee Kaufman had been dead for 44 years. He had not survived past his 22nd birthday.
The man standing at the counter did not look like a phantom. He looked like an ordinary, aging rural resident. Yet his entire existence was built on an intricate system of administrative manipulation, a process we can define as the Identity Erasure Protocol. This is not a story about a clever disguise. It is an analysis of a calculated 42-year structural evasion that exploited the gaps between physical paper records and the slow rise of the digital state. To understand how this discrepancy began, we must return to 1975 at the University of Arkansas.
Walter Lee Kaufman was a young man with a clear, predictable trajectory. He had just completed his engineering degree, a demanding program that required precision and structural logic. His peers recalled him as quiet and focused. But just 2 months after his graduation, a highway collision ended his life. His family buried him in Arkansas, believing his story had concluded. At that very same university, in that exact same era, another engineering student was observing. His name was Stephen Craig Campbell. Campbell was analytical. He understood electrical circuits, mechanical networks, and structural logic. He also understood that when a human being dies, their paper trail does not instantly vanish. In 1975, government record-keeping was a decentralized maze of physical filing cabinets, localized registries, and unlinked databases.
By 1982, Campbell's life was fracturing. His marriage had dissolved, and his estranged wife was living with a new partner in the city of Green River. Instead of navigating the legal process of divorce, Campbell applied his engineering training to a highly specific, physical task. He constructed a booby trap. Using his knowledge of small electrical engines and circuitry, Campbell took a metal toolbox and rigged an internal explosive charge. The trigger mechanism was integrated directly into the lid's metal latch. It was designed so that the physical act of opening the box would complete the electrical circuit, triggering immediate detonation. He placed the device outside the residence. It was his estranged wife who found the box. When she unclasped the latch, the electrical connection closed. The resulting blast severed her finger, caused extensive shrapnel injuries to her legs and torso, and ignited a fire that consumed 2 residential homes. Campbell was identified as the primary suspect, arrested, and held on attempted first-degree murder charges. But after posting bond, he did not return for his court date. He fled.
Actually, let me rephrase that.
He did not run away. He chose to cease existing as Stephen Campbell. He activated the Identity Erasure Protocol. He needed a clean record, and he remembered the classmate who had died in 1975. In 1984, Campbell obtained a copy of Walter Lee Kaufman's paper birth certificate. At that time, obtaining a birth certificate from a state registry required little more than a mailed request and a nominal fee. No photo identification was cross-referenced. Armed with this physical sheet of paper, Campbell applied for a United States passport. This is where his method of biometric desynchronization succeeded. Campbell submitted Kaufman's birth details, but he attached a physical photograph of his own face. Because the passport agency had no computerized database to verify if the face matched the name, and because the real Kaufman had never held a passport, the application was approved. The government printed an official, high-security travel document, that verified Stephen Campbell's face as the living identity of a dead man. But a passport is only a temporary shield. How did he maintain this anomaly for 4 decades without triggering an...
The answer lies in a highly risky database manipulation that Campbell executed in 1992. By the early 90s, the Social Security Administration was beginning to digitize its files, creating the Death Master File. When Campbell attempted to expand his financial footprint under Kaufman's name, he discovered that Kaufman's Social Security number had been flagged with a death indicator. The ghost was about to be locked out of the system, so Campbell initiated a direct intervention. He contacted the Social Security Administration directly. Using a series of fabricated administrative excuses, he convinced an agency representative that the death registration was a clerical error. The real Walter Kaufman had died in a car crash, but Campbell argued that the record was a mistake, that he, the living Walter, was very much alive and working. The agency complied. They manually removed the death flag from the database. This single administrative correction cleared the path. In 1995, Campbell walked into an agency office and secured a physical replacement Social Security card. He then used that card to obtain an Oklahoma driver's license. He had successfully reversed a death certificate in the digital sphere. With his new state-validated documents, Campbell purchased a 44-acre compound in Weed, New Mexico. It was a remote, mountainous region where neighbors didn't ask questions about a quiet older man who enjoyed the outdoors. To the local community, he was simply Walter, a retired engineer.
On June 1st, 2026, Stephen Craig Campbell stood before a federal judge in Albuquerque. He pleaded guilty to passport fraud, aggravated identity theft, and being a fugitive in possession of firearms. Under his federal plea agreement, he faces up to 12 years in prison, but his legal reckoning is only half complete. You were forced to prove your identity tomorrow without a single physical document. Could you do it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We will be reading.